Hiya, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, Miss Letty.
So, hiya comes from where I come from in the north, and it means hello. And it's like a nice way of saying hello. Hiya, Annie. Hiya, Nieves, and hiya, Alan. Now, I thought I would remind our viewers some things that they should try to remember, or a suggestion, no? And I think that our viewers, if they want to learn English, they need enough speaking time and not too much watching just the videos they can watch or a film, but taking part, because that's the best way, in my opinion, to learn. Also, you need a good mindset. So if you haven't, you should try and change it a bit. What is a mindset? It's the way we are thinking, and we should have a growth mindset. So you can look that up on Google and find exactly what it's about. And more or less, it's about achieving your goals, not being afraid to make a mistake, and always trying your best. And we should try and focus more on speaking and less on reading and writing. That doesn't mean don't do it, no, but don't be obsessive with reading and writing and not doing speaking. What is your aim in English? Do you want to pass an exam? That's a different story. But if you want to communicate, you need your speaking practice. And that's what we're going to do today, everyone. We're going to do some speaking practice. So let's see what our subject is for today. And our subject today is school, right? School. So let me see what questions we have prepared for today. Right, Annie, you can go first. Can you remember at what age you started school?
Yeah. I started school about 6.
6 years old.
Yeah, elementary school. At elementary school.
All right. And Alan, can you remember when you started school?
Yes, I started school at the age of 5.
Right. I think I started at 6, but I can't really remember. And you, Nieves?
Yes, I remember. I started school when I was 6 years old.
Right, when you were 6. And I think I've mentioned it in another video. My girls started at different times. For example, my eldest started at 4 and my youngest started at 3. So the education department changed the rules, no?
Yeah.
Sorry, but I can't remember anything about school at that time. I think my first memories of school are when I was 11 years old. Before that, I don't remember. Each person has different memories. Right, Annie, how many schools do you have? I will explain a little bit. For example, we could have like preschool, kindergarten, primary. In each country, they have a different education system or different names maybe for the same schools. So, do you know how many school levels you have?
When I was kid, I went to school at 6 years old at elementary school, and then for 6 years at elementary school, and then continue to junior high school for 3 years, and then continue to the senior high school for 3 years as well, and then continue to the university. But I didn't go to the kindergarten because at that time I live in countryside. It wasn't available about the kindergarten at that moment.
Right. So I have at the moment a granddaughter who is 2, and because we're all working, she goes to kindergarten. She went last year and she will continue this year, and she will start school at 3. Another thing out of interest I would like to mention, normally people start university at 18, and the 2 years before, in English, it's called sixth form college. So it's a completely different word to other countries. So I just wanted to mention that. Sixth form college are 2 years where you are preparing your chosen subjects then to be able to go on to university. Alan, did the teacher tell you off for anything? Do you remember?
Not really. I cannot recall anything. Enid was just talking when I shouldn't have been talking, but off the cuff now, I cannot remember anything where I had a roasting, if you like, as we call it.
Right, so to
however,
be told off.
have punishment. We did have punishment if we didn't do as we were told. And of course, the ruler or the cane across the hand was the norm.
Right. Yeah.
Or even when we did metal work in the workshops, if we were doing something which we shouldn't have been doing, we had what we call the slipper. And you asked to bend over the bench, and they gave you 3 of the best with a slipper on your backside.
Right. So we're from other generations, no? Because now they are not allowed to hit children.
No, corporal punishment.
So Alan mentioned there to be told off could be called roasting, like the word for roasting a chicken in the oven, no? So then people will remember that. So if you were roasted in that situation, it would mean you're getting told off. And punishment, and this happened to us as well, they would take a piece of wood, which is a stick, and they would hit us on our hands. And normally it was a very thin stick. If you watch the old films about Great Britain or England, you will hear it go.
Bamboo cane.
Yes, so it really hurt. And sometimes they used to hit us on the backside as well, didn't they, Alan?
Yeah,
absolutely. So we
absolutely.
had a lot of corporal punishment, a lot of punishment from hitting, which of course is not allowed now in our systems. Right, Nieves, what was your favorite subject?
Well, it was my favorite subject. It was math.
Oh, right.
It was math, yeah. But I think it's because it was my favorite teacher as well.
Oh.
She was really nice.
Why, did you have a crush on the teacher?
No, it was a woman. It was a woman. It was a woman teacher, but she was so nice. And then
I was a lady, sorry.
My
yes.
favorite subject, yes.
Right, so a crush means that you like someone a lot and you look at them as though you're in love, no? But it's like a child love. So as Nieves explained, it was a lady teacher. What did you like about her? Because she was friendly, or she explained very well, or she was very passionate?
Because she was very passionate, and she was spending as much time as you needed to understand anything. So if she was friendly, nice, and very passionate about teaching, that's because I became a teacher as well.
Yes, so this what happens. I've heard sometimes that people who are in primary, they start to have a liking for a subject because of the teacher. I don't know if teachers are passionate now about their subjects, but before this was a usual thing, no? And Anney Nieves is a passionate person about maths as well. So even though she's studying English and she's here with us, she's passionate about maths. And it's very important that teachers pass on this passion to their students. Right, Anney, which was the subject you least liked?
Oh, the least subject for me, it was history.
History?
Yes. I didn't like it at that moment when I was a kid, because I got distracted by the teacher who explained the subject. It was boring, and also the mouth kind of moving around. It's kind of distract me at that moment. As a kid, I'm a little bit kind of mischievous at that moment, so I was watching him when explained to me. My imagination was running around, anywhere. So yeah, I've been trying to both history book, but it didn't work. You know, even though I tried to read all the whole book, but still I couldn't remember a thing from the book. You know.
Right. So sometimes people who like maths, normally they don't like the arts, which is language, history, etc. Not always, but it could be a rule, no? And if you were so busy looking at the teacher's facial expressions rather than listening to what he had to say, no? Do you remember what kind of history you did? Was it world history? Was it local history?
Yeah, local history, also world history, everything related to history. Basically, it is not about the history anyway. Maybe tend to the way the teacher explain, convey the message. It doesn't work with me. It didn't work with me at the moment. That's the idea. It is not about the subject, I guess.
Right, okay, because history was one of my favorites. And I think it was because the teacher used to tell us stories, in the sense, bring the history to life. So I studied when I was in the high school, history about Russia, the war, Second World War, and you think, well, not interesting. I wasn't very good with dates, like in 1867 and things like that.
Hastings.
But I could remember the idea of who went with who and who did what. I could remember that. And he used to walk up and down the classroom telling us about some moment in history, and he used to bring it to life. No, so that helped us. Right, Alan, do you remember your favorite teacher?
Oh gosh, we're going back a bit now. Not, I don't know. At school, my most favourable or the best moment I had was when I was at college, having left secondary education, and the man who taught us there was passionate about his the subject that we were being taught. And so much so, that's what led me into teaching. I thought, this is fantastic to be able to impart this knowledge to other people. His name was Mr. Clarkson, and we all loved him to bits. And I know when he retired, we all got together and we bought him a television, a black and white television back in those days. But yes, he was a real gem of a man. He would have a sense of humor, and we would have a laugh with him. But other than that, it was strictly knuckle down and listen to what I'm saying. But yes, other than that, infant school, junior school, as it was called then, secondary education, I can't think of anybody that was outstanding. If anything, it was the other way around. They were rather boring.
Right. So your first good memories were later on in college.
Yes.
And Alan's just said something, to knuckle down. To knuckle down. So I am listening to Alan so that I can pick up on things that he's saying. So this is your knuckle, correct, Alan? This is your knuckle. And if you knuckle down, you can imagine knuckle down is to work hard.
Get on with it, yes.
So knuckle down is a phrasal verb. Now, how can you remember it? By something like I just did now. You think, this is knuckle. And if I put my knuckles down, I can imagine working hard. So for me, phrasal verbs are quite complex. So you need to find a way of remembering, either with an image or putting it together with something. So he was saying, Alan, that his teacher used to have a sense of humor, but then that stopped and they had to knuckle down and carry on working hard. So that was a good one that Alan's just mentioned. Right, Nieves, would you do anything different during your school years? Would you do anything different during your school years?
Well, I could study a little harder, to be honest, because I used to, talk a lot during classes.
Oh,
I was very talkative, so I didn't spend much time in class listening to the teachers. So when I was at home, I had to work even harder because I didn't understand anything at school. So I have to do it myself at home, and I have to do extra homework as well. So anything different? Yeah, I could listen more.
So pay more attention. Now, as you are a teacher now, how do you feel about people talking in your class?
Oh, I feel bad, really bad. I get angry. I don't
Yes.
allow people to talk when I'm teaching something, to be honest. So I like when they raise their hands and ask questions, okay, but not when I'm teaching or when I'm talking. I
Yeah.
can give them time to talk, but not when I'm talking.
Yeah, so not disrupting you while you're trying to give class. So now I think we can say the shoe is on the other foot. Can we say that? So before, you used to do your talking when the teacher was giving class, but now the shoe is on the other foot, and you're having this experience of putting up with children who are talking while you are giving lessons. So on the screen now, we have another word, ta-ra. Alan, have you ever heard this word, ta-ra?
Never heard it in my life. Only as a name, and it was pronounced Tara, which is
No,
the name of a
it's
girl
not.
that I knew.
So if I say to you now, ta-ra, Alan.
Oh,
Ta-ra,
yes,
David.
bye-bye. Yes, goodbye.
There we go. So this is another Northern or Welsh expression, and I thought I would put it today. So everybody, we are going to say to our viewers, ta-ra.
Ta-ra!
Ta-ra, everybody.